This is Dabu7. I want to share with you some information on the secrets of vibration. And I think you'll find this pretty interesting. What they've done is they've tricked the whole world, and they have been using a frequency in music that is not natural. It's not harmonic. It doesn't vibrate good, so to speak. What they've done is they've took this A equals 432 Hz and changed it to 440. So what should be, as you can see right here, has been changed. Now, what is significant about this is that the 432 is said to be mathematically consistent with the patterns of the universe. It vibrates. It connects with all of this. And the ancients, they used this. Everything was aligned to this. And you can see when you use the 432, this is what you get. The 440, this is what you get. Just as an example. So what they've done is this 432, which vibrates, here's some more examples, and connects with all these beautiful things, has been removed. You can see the vibrations. Love, it manifests itself into beauty. It's real. It's energy. And this vibration is real, and they know it. And what they've done is they've removed a key part of this. This is connected with healing as well. Consciousness. But they've removed it and replaced it with a duller, unnatural frequency. So, I think it's important that people understand this. This is what they're doing. When you hear people start talking about frequency, ringing of the ears, you might think that they're talking some madness or they're crazy. It's real deal. They're doing this using vibration. Like I said, we're 70% water. They can create these patterns with frequency in water, in molecules. Can you imagine DNA? You can change people, control people, their consciousness, their moods, the way of being. They know this. And since 1953, this has been in place. I say, you talk about it, you turn people onto this information, and we get this changed. And we get aligned back to the real, true, natural, beautiful, loving, conscious frequency. Or you can stay dumbed down and controlled. It's up to you. But now you know, at least this is what they're doing. It's one of the ways they're doing it. And it's sad that even the music you listen to, the harmonics, the vibrations, are all being manipulated around you, and this is proof. Very interesting information nonetheless. I'll leave a link. It's been Dabu7. Eyes open. Just kick the door down here and let people see it for what it is. Give them all the information I can, and we'll go from there. But as I pointed out in here, cracking the door open on this whole subject was the fact that they changed the 432 to 440. Okay? Now this was done strategically. I'm going to leave links that you guys can come and read that are packed full of information that talks about this miracle 528 hertz frequency. The Solfeggio, and yes, the Fibonacci, how it all ties in together. Good videos here and good information, like I said. And I'm going to play some musical tones also to let you guys get an idea of exactly what we're dealing with here. Now, when it comes to this frequency, this is something that they have been keeping from the masses for a long time, and they're doing it just like they have with everything else. They're using it as a control mechanism. Now, this universe is based on good and evil, positive and negative energies. Getting yourself aligned spiritually is key. In doing so, you have to know what you're doing, and you really need to know all the facts. Well, when they keep those facts from you, it's hard to achieve that, because they don't want you to achieve that. They do not want you to achieve any higher realm of spirituality. They do not want you to ascend. They want you to stay bogged down in a lower vibration state where they can keep you locked down, connected on this planet, and keep reusing you and lying to you, and you never knowing. But they, passing the secrets on through DNA and everything else, they intermarry, and they keep coming through the same families, knowing these secrets that is kept from the masses. And it's your true being. Yeshua preached love. I think most of us can agree it is the key. And 528 resonates with this through and through, universally. You'll start to understand this as you dig deeper into this. 528 is resonating off a blade of grass in your backyard. It is coming from you when you laugh. It is coming from the sun. It's what they call the miracle frequency. And they know this, and they have removed this from the Western music society. You have to understand, music is the universal language. Universally. From the biggest empire on earth to the smallest tribe. They have a drum, they have sticks, they're making music, they are chanting, they are dancing around the fire pit. Music, vibration. Jericho, the walls came tumbling down. They encircled the place for 6 days, and on the 7th they all cheered and yelled and clapped, and it came down. Vibration. The knowledge, it is key. Aligning the chakras, the energy points. All of this knowledge is stuff they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know what you are. They want you to stay consumed with this material world and everything that they keep putting in front of you. But you have to want this in your heart, truly. You have to truly want it. You have to will it. And if you're there, anything can be achieved. Okay? The secret, the law of attraction. Anything that you put your mind to. Now, when you come down to the Solfeggio here, the Solfeggio, and I'll show you some different charts, is broke down like this in frequency. Okay? And you can see what it represents here, the main 6. There's different, as you see here, but these are the main 6. With this being the most unique, in the one they say is the miracle frequency. Now, what is interesting is the 528 blends with all of these frequencies universally, except with 741. When you blend 528 hertz with 741 hertz, you get what they call in the music world as the devil's tone, or the devil's interval, because it's so chaotic and stressful. It's something you just don't want to hear. It's not pleasant. So, knowing that this universe is negative and positive energy, yin and yang, when you start to understand these influences and you start to wrap your head around the frequencies here, you start to understand that they're controlling everything. In the air, the chemtrails, the food that you eat. I've seen many of you commenting on the last video. Yes, all of that. The towers that are put up. Yes. Other people picking up the ringing ear thing, the frequency shifting. It is true. It is real. Never talked about in the mainstream media. This is a highly kept secret when it comes to controlling the masses. Big time. And It's blended in and woven in right into the music that everyone loves every day. And why? Let me see if I can find the exact key here. I'll point this out too. You see this? The secret meaning of the ancient syllables. Ut, re, mi, fam. Miracle in Latin. The miracle family is what this comes down to. Like I said, if you're having a hard time wrapping your head around it, I'll leave a link. You can come and you can read this whole piece. And by the time you're done, I guarantee you, you will have a way better understanding of what this all means. That these frequencies are indeed powerful. They know this. This is on the realms of magic to them. The secret key to the universe. Like I said, it's the universal language. Now, what I want to point out here, and I don't want to miss, I want you to understand how they are disguising this in music, as I put out in the last video. What they've done is, as I stated in the last video, when changing the frequency, if you tune or you align precisely to the A444 Hertz tuning, this specifically manifests a C5 pitch at 528 Hertz. That is the key. It's a higher pitch that is pleasing. Like I said, the blades of grass, the shells in the sea resonate with all of this. It's all connected through this frequency that they know about and they keep hidden. And I can't think of the name of the movie for the life of me. I don't think it's National Treasure. It might be the one with Tom Hanks, where he's running around trying to find the secrets, and he's in the church. One of the churches he come into is real, and there is a very mystical design to that church that many say it looks like some kind of gate that can be unlocked musically with frequency. And that's real. And the only way any of this is ever going to be achieved is if you know the root of how they're doing it here. They changed this. Never in the Western world are you going to hear this pleasing, healing frequency come out of your radio. This is one of my main points. They've took control of this. They are feeding you a dumbed down, a bogged down vibration in your food, in the sky, through your radio, in the thin air around you. They are manipulating it. And if you have no idea they're doing it, you're never going to stand a chance. I'm going to play a little piece here of 528 frequency sounds that I think you'll like. I'll leave links. And remember, this is about ascending consciousness, being positive. No one's going to hear you when you're screaming and cussing at them. Okay? We're in this together. Spin Dabu 7. Peace.
May 18th, 2014. We've been talking about this video. If you remember on Blog Talk last week, we're talking about the Schumann resonance, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing lightning bolts hit the earth, bounce out into the atmosphere, and bounce back in. It's called the resonance of life, 7.83 hertz, or cycles per second. Now, it's a scientific proven fact. And what we're talking about is called the optimum biological frequency resonance, or OBFR. I want to highlight some of this. You can pause it and read any of it. It says, achieving the optimum biological frequency resonance is the foundation for good health. Research in biophysics seems to suggest that our biological system is tuned into the background frequency of our planet. The Schumann resonance, a steady pulse of 7.83 hertz, which beats around the planet within the Earth's ionosphere cavity. That's what you just saw. Depending on your point of view, living beings either evolved in this natural electromagnetic environment or were created with divine intelligence to live in harmony with it. One thing is certain. Since life began, the earth has been surrounding all living things with this natural frequency pulsation. God designed it. He designed that cavity to resonate at this particular DNA frequency. Many experts believe the wide spectrum of artificial man-made EMF radiation masks the natural beneficial frequency of the earth, and it does. It's called electropollution. It says may cause us to feel more stressed, fatigued, and out of balance. Laboratory research has shown that exposing living cells to the Schumann resonance had the effect of protecting them from ambient electromagnetic frequencies, allowing the cells to increase their immune protection and decrease the absorption of depression-inducing chemicals. Some researchers believe that producing a 7.83 hertz pulse with a field generator called a Schumann device can counter the effects of the irritating man-made fields. By replicating the Earth's natural rhythms, it may be providing ourselves, at least in an immediate vicinity, with a healthy environment. And they're talking about when you're blocked completely from the ELF, or extremely low frequency, at 7.83, it throws you off. So they have generators that simulate this in outer space, talking about astronauts, cosmonauts, who are no longer exposed to the Schumann waves. So then the new modern spacecraft contain a device which simulate the waves. So do underground bunkers. They have to have it. And in this image, this is an MRI showing brain cancer that they have proven comes from cell phone uses, held up beside your head like that, guys. So there's definitely not just interference problems, but death problems. You understand? Now, we talked about it on the radio show, trying to find out what we could do to block it. Look in the bottom right. You see the room lined with this aluminum foil coated insulation? You see these tents. And I'm not promoting any particular brand of anything, but you can check them by any type Faraday cage, small or large. Does your cell phone still work in it? That is a major sign of your high frequency microwave. And here's different containers, even a trash can in the bottom left, lined, and then you put your cardboard inside it, even in the lid, then put another container that's foil wrapped inside it. You see a cage, and that's a common thing that you see in the bottom right, and it is a Faraday cage protecting your electronics. But notice how they've got the setup with these trash cans in the top left with your cell phone. And a lot of you guys know this, and I'm not going to go into all the details. I could go on for days about the different frequencies, but that's not important. What is important is just realizing they're there, what they're doing, and what you can do about it. The 10 in the left is also what's called a Faraday shield, the magnetic material. And you can look up the different things. There's different ways to build these. And also you can go to antennasearch.com, if you notice, and look up where your cell phone towers are. But look at this article. It says the average person usually doesn't realize they are jeopardizing their health by innocently clicking away on their computer or talking on a cordless phone. Linked with cancer, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, chronic fatigue, miscarriage, a host of other devastating diseases. Electromagnetic fields, or EMFs, are a serious modern concern, and exposure is almost impossible to avoid. But with diet and a measure of awareness, the dangers of EMFs can be reduced. And you can study this, some of the effects and what a proper diet can help with that. But here's some of the hidden hazards. Microwave, cancerous growths, headaches, fatigue, dizziness, hair loss, muscle, heart impairment, blurred vision, and increased cholesterol. Your cell phone is also microwave, but your computer, erratic heartbeat, sleep disorders, miscarriage, severe headaches, thyroid, malfunction, loss of energy, stress, dizziness, poor memory. With your cell phones, insomnia, memory loss, dizziness, nausea, poor concentration, hair thinning, eye problems, respiratory complaints, tendinitis, brain tumors, and aneurysms. And we talked about this on the radio show the other night. Look at the top. Going barefooted, grounding yourself, getting away from these light lines, getting out of your home, getting out of your car where you're surrounded with this matrix. It says salt water is an incredible source of free electrons for a full earthing experience. Earthing means grounding. Walk barefoot along the seashore in the water. Close second is a dewy grass in the morning if you can't get to the seashore. That moisture is a conduit for this grounding effect. Now it goes on to say that completely avoiding the electromagnetic radiation is impossible, yet minimizing exposure lessens the damaging impact on your health. The first rule of thumb, turn off and unplug appliances when not in use. Next, avoid Wi-Fi networks, especially in the home. If you can go back, guys, and wire your computers directly, and remember the old modems that were not Wi-Fi, much safer. It says fully charging laptops and then unplugging when ready for use is another way to minimize the EMF exposure, not sitting there hooked up charging that battery. If the computer needs to be connected to a power source, make sure plugs, power strips are located far away from the body. Steer clear of halogen and fluorescent lighting. Both technologies produce substantial electromagnetic frequencies. LCD lighting is a safe and alternative. And with your cordless phone, it says avoid the DECT technology. It transmits a strong radio frequency signal even when it's idle. You understand? Be aware of that. And with a cell phone, try to use the speaker mode or a tube headset, it says. But guys, this is just some information that I think is critical. It goes as deep as prayer. This natural rhythm of the earth that God created, that all life forms have been here for thousands and thousands of years, have been exposed to that frequency only, the one that God created to keep everything in balance. Just in the last 100 years, and it's increased in our generation tremendously, the interference, the blocking of the signals that God uses for our body to heal it, to heal our DNA, and I believe to speak to us in a very clear way. In other words, that when you go to 7.83 hertz, you're lowering your brain waves into a relaxed state. It's where you kind of turning off the outside world, your five senses, so that you can listen to the voice inside. Now, Satan, if he wanted to separate you from God, this would be an excellent way to try to do it. He can't completely do it, but it wreaks havoc on your body and on your brain. It throws you off so much that it makes it really hard to concentrate and pay attention to not only what goes around you, but what God's talking to you about. So study this, pay attention to it. Heads up, be safe.